Dímelo, Bo, Dominican York. What's going on, mi gente? What is going on? And I know you're like, wow, what is happening today? Well, the clone brand reached out to me via email and asked if I wanted a collab. I've never done a fragrance collab. I've barely done any collabs on YouTube. This is my second, and I wanted to give it a try, guys. They said that they liked what I was doing with my content and that they felt that it might connect with some of my audience. So I decided to roll ahead, picked out what are their best sellers, which is the first one that I've worn is the clone Whisper number 43, and it's their interpretation on Sauvage. And I've been trying to figure out which Sauvage, because I've got the entire lineup, and I just got the Extrait thanks to my beautiful wife. And I don't think it's the Parfum just because it's an Extrait. I just find it to be closer to the Parfum in every which way. I'm going to spray both on the back of my hand right now. It is an Extrait. The tight cap secures firmly without being magnetic. I've got clone on my left. And Parfum on my right. I am correct. My assumption is correct. This is most closely related to Sauvage Parfum, at least to my nose and to what I think. It is an extrait concentration. They are cruelty-free from everything that I've read on their websites. I am offering, or they have allowed me to offer a 15% off discount on their website by using the code Rivera. That's R-I-V-E-R-A. R-I-V-E-R-A. That's Rivera. And that'll allow you to get 15% off. I don't know what you can combine that with. Again, this is my first collab, so I had to go into Shopify and set up a couple things, and it's taken me longer to put this video out, I admit, because I wanted to wear it for a while. I wanted to sample it. You see, I've got a decent dent on the bottle. And my first sprays, I really was wondering, is this like a Sauvage Light? Right? That's what I was thinking at first, like a Sauvage Light, because it wasn't really reminding me of the EDP or the EDT, which I had been wearing the same week that I received the clone. But then I wore the Parfum, and it really resembled the Parfum more than any of the other Dior Sauvages. And again, it might be because of the concentration level, maybe not. And we'll go into breakdown at another time. I know that this has the notes. If you look at my community page, you'll have the scent of the day along with the notes, and it'll be number 43, Whisper. But they also sent me 2 feminine releases, which are, again, their top 3 sellers. And I wore the clone Delira number 17. And if you guys are a friend of the channel, you know that I wore Delina about 2 weeks ago. And I really wanted to get another wear of Delina in, but I knew that I had this coming, and I wanted to get an all-day wear at work in the heat. And when I actually got Delira out of the box and wore it, it was about a week ago. I wore it all day long. This is spot on. I mean, this is 95% of Delira. I'm going to say Whisper is more to 85%. There are some slight differences. And it's got to be fixatives and things like that. But for some reason, Delira, ladies, if you are a friend of the channel, if you are a fan of Delina and you don't want to use Delina all the time, same thing with Sauvage. If you're a Sauvage fan and you want to wear your Sauvage and not go through the bottle as fast, the clone Whisper number 43 is a perfect backup option or first choice, so that way you save Sauvage for other times and you don't go through the bottle as fast. But the clone Delira number 17, guys, this is 95%. I wore it last week and I wore Delina about 2 weeks ago. You get the rhubarb, you get the rose, it's all there. For some reason or another, this one is so much closer to the OG than number 43 is to the OG. But again, when I think of Sauvage, I'm really thinking of EDP and EDT. I'm not really always thinking of Parfum. Parfum, if you saw my video in the ranking, is my least worn of the Sauvages right now. So I've definitely got to get more wearings of Parfum in so I can compare that with Clone 43. Off the back of my hand, Clone 43 is not as sweet as the Parfum right now. So I gotta say, it's probably a mix of the Parfum and some of the EDT, but it's not as loud as the EDT, being an extrait concentration. But guys, Delira, ladies, if you want the experience of Delina, but don't want to spend the money, this is a great affordable option. And again, if you want to support the channel, you can go to the Clone Parfum website or the Clone Perfume website. Use code Rivera, that's Rivera. I'll put the link in the description of the video, but you'll get 15% off with code Rivera. And I know there's other reviewers doing different things. I didn't ask for specific scents. I asked for their best sellers, right? And these are their top sellers. Now, the other one that I haven't opened yet is the clone number 47. And it's Libera, which is their clone of, hold on, Libra. I don't know why I couldn't think of the name. That's their clone of, believe it or not, this is my wife's scent of the day. Yeah, today my wife has worn Libra from YSL. And of course, number 47, like we saw in the back of the box, is a clone of Libre. And this one's called Libera. Let's open her up. So I've done 2 testers. One is of Libera and one is of Libra. Whoa, guys. Off strip, Libra's slightly sweeter. But Libera is a little fresher, it seems. You definitely pick up a bit of orange blossom off each. It seems more pronounced on Libra. Now, Libra is a potent beast, guys, and my wife put it on today for a reason. It's one of her favorite scents. And I don't remember which Libra this is. I think it's the EDP Intense. And Libera might be doing the EDT, but they are very close. I'm just picking up a little bit more sweetness in Libra. I'm picking up a little bit more sweetness in Libra than I am in Libera. Now that's off strip. And I want to go back to strips with Delira number 17. So I've put Delira number 17 and Delina on strip. It's so good, guys. Also reminds me of the Prada rhubarb that I have. Rhubarb infusions, or infusions de rhubarb. Guys, these are, again, 95% identical off strip as they were to me when I wore each separately. I haven't worn them together to compare them side by side. That's why I'm doing the strip right now. Delina and Delira, Again, Delina off strip now is coming off a little bit sweeter. And again, that's off strip, so that's not off skin. The Libera and the Delira take on Libre and Delina are amazing. I'm gonna say in that 90 to 95% range. And then Sauvage, Parfum, and Clone Whisper number 43 had the biggest disparity, where I'm gonna say it's closer to that 80% range, an 8 out of 10. And I didn't put them on strip, so I should do that right now. I've got them on the back of my hand. Again, it's like the Sauvage Parfum is sweeter, and it still seems a little denser, but not exactly on skin, because there is Whisper and there is Parfum. So both are extracts. Again, it's just that whatever captives Dior uses are different. And off my skin, off my nose, they're coming off sweeter. But again, Whisper might not be necessarily aiming for the Parfum. They may have been aiming for the EDP or the EDT. I don't know that for sure. So it could be a blend of the EDT and the EDP along with the Parfum, even though I felt it was closer to the Parfum off skin. And it is my scent of the day. I've sprayed liberally on the back of my neck, on my arms. Let's see what the dry down on my arms is starting to smell like. See, I smell Sauvage, but I also smell a little bit of what I think is their captives. Their bergamot might be a little bit different than, obviously it's going to be a little different than Dior's bergamot. Their pepper is going to be a little bit different than Dior's pepper. But for some reason, when I go to Delira and Libera, they are so spot on. It's in that 90 to 95% range. To me, Whisper number 43 is closer to that 80% range. Maybe 75 to 80% range further in the dry down. I would gladly recommend any one of these three if you're looking for an alternative to the fragrance. If you're looking for something that's super affordable, that gives you the experience without having to drop the amount of money, and you don't necessarily want to go into the Middle Eastern route, if you want to keep it from a company that is stateside, because they're based out of Texas, if I'm not mistaken, you can go with the Clone. You'll see a lot of other reviewers are putting reviews out there. There's smaller channels like myself, but I am thankful for the Clone to giving me an opportunity to collab with someone. Perhaps this will open doors for other collabs. Again, if you do want to support the channel, I'll put the website and the link in the description. And I'll also give you guys the code is Rivera, R-I-V-E-R-A, River with an A at the end. That's my last name, Rivera, as your discount code to get 15% off. Again, thank you for hanging out with your Uncle Bo. This is a different video. First time doing a collab and first time doing a fragrance collab. Anyway, que Dios me lo bendiga. I'll talk to you guys soon. And I will have more updates with Whisper, Libera, and Delira. Talk to you guys soon. Peace.